So guys, this is going to be our final lecture before the Christmas break comes up, and the finals are going to start soon. So let me share. Okay, so in this class, we are all going to be talking about data. It's all about data and how you use data in the fashion industry, how you use data for marketing, and what you do with that data, and how can you improve your marketing based on data. So we'll talk a little bit about certain terminology, and we'll talk about how people use data. And this is really a hot topic because, there are a lot of companies and brands and apps that we use that are collecting our data. And that data can eventually be very useful to make more informed decisions for marketers. But some people can be upset about their data being collected. But if you're doing marketing in the fashion industry, the data can be extremely valuable. So what does data do? For buyers, if you're a buyer for a company, it gives you a lot of insight about people's purchasing decisions, what kind of products they buy, so you can choose products that are definitely going to be purchased. It helps fashion directors in retail planning, and it also helps marketing teams to make better choices when they're trying to reach customers, because they can see where their customers are, what kind of customers are interested in their products. You can collect all of that data from people's searches online, and it helps you create better options to reach your customers. And fashion forecasting has also changed a lot because of the availability of this data. Because one thing is, fashion forecasting used to do some research, look at like the color trends and other things, and try to estimate or forecast what the trends are going to be. But now you have all these search engines, social media, runway shows that are available to everybody through YouTube, and you can see what kind of fashion design people are more interested in, what products are becoming the trend. So trend spotting is one thing you can do with data. You can find next season's hot sellers based on visitor data. If you're introducing your next season's products, you can see how people are interacting with those products, and you can have a better forecast about the next season. You can also estimate seasonal rhythms, like how people are acting around the holidays, how the consumer behavior is changing during holidays or other seasonal events, and that can inform your advertising campaigns about what products to sell during holiday season, what products are more popular during a certain event, and so on. And you can also create personalized style recommendations based on customer behavior, based on preferences. So all of that can be a lot easier with data. This is just an example. This is an older one from 2017, but you can see they were able to find top 5 designers based on fan base growth online. These are some of the popular colors. They looked at top trends based on fan base growth, like texture-wise, volume, 60s styles, 90s styles, and so on. So you can collect a lot of different information like this on the internet. So what changed with Google searches, and all of that availability of data is that in the past, retailers had their own systems, and when, as you know, if you're a cashier and you're selling products, you can see how many products are selling from your store, and you can see what is being returned. You can see how customers are buying your products. So you had access to your own data. So the data was always internal in the past. But today, with data science, every person within the organization can see a lot of this data, and you're not only seeing your own data based on like what you sold, based on your POS system, but you're able to see your competitors' performance as well. In the past, it was more instinct-based. People estimated what kind of products people may be interested in this year, and so on. But now there's more clarity, there's more certainty, because you can see the interests of people. In the past, the data you get from your own sales were already too old to do some kind of action, to take action to change your product line. So if you sold them already, I mean, you see how much you sold of a certain product, but it's too late to make some changes. Now you can have real-time information even before you put your products for sale, and that helps. And in the past, only certain people had access to your sales data, but now everyone has access. So everyone in your organization can make more informed decisions. Google has also changed everything, because when people are searching on Google, if you're searching a product, let's say, I needed eyeglasses. So when I put on Google eyeglasses, Google records that, and it knows how many people have researched for that item, right? So the data is available from every city, from every place in the world, and there are trillions of searches every day. So you can imagine how much data we have. And before AI and ChatGPT, we didn't really have a way of processing all of that data, but now it's going to be much easier with AI to process all of that data. They look at the keywords people are using. They can also look at different devices. Are you searching this type of product from your mobile phone versus your desktop? And you can estimate the popularity and trends for a given product, just looking at the keyword data, because you see what consumers are doing when they're shopping for that product. So I Googled this yesterday, and I said, what is the most searched product on Google? And it came up as consumer electronics, smartphones, laptops, tablets. Those are what people search the most. And this is based on 2021 data, but I did Google that yesterday. And number 2 is home goods, like furniture, kitchen appliances, home decor, and so on. So I thought that was interesting. And then I Googled top fashion keywords around the world in 2023. And you can see what kind of trends came up: crochet, red, cargo pants, sheer clothing, denim, maxi skirts, cobalt blue, and so on. So these were the top fashion keywords that people search on Google in 2023. So it gives you an idea about the trends. There are companies who collect more data, and they analyze them, and they give out some information about them. I can't remember what this one was about, but it talks about how people are engaging on a certain social media site. I'm not really sure if this was Twitter, but it says there are 1% creators, 9% editors, 90% of the users are more silent, and they don't engage a whole lot. And I believe this is another pyramid chart that shows the proportion of active Twitter users, which are 13%, and then the rest of them, they call them lurkers. Those are 87% almost. So you can get that kind of data. This one, I believe this is Nordstrom's research. And they tried to understand people who are more interested in their products. And they created those clusters of people. So they have all these different categories of their audience. So this is called audience visualization, or in an information mapping format. And you can see, oops. So you can see fashion stylists. This is this group. That's a big portion of their audience. Fashion lovers is a big group. Young women are the light green. So you see a lot of those. This is moms. This is their Spanish audience. So they can cluster these because, these are connected with lines to each other. That means they have more in common with each other. And that's how they are able to understand their target audiences. This is a pie chart that categorizes the audience clusters for Nordstrom, Saks Fifth Avenue, Neiman Marcus, and Macy's Twitter followers. And you can still see, you know, fashion stylists, 11%, fashion lovers, 10%, beauty and fashion bloggers, 9%. This is young women, moms, Spanish, and so on. So, you know, these are different groups who are the Twitter followers of these brands. And that information can be useful. That's another summary report that shows you unique tribes of people found within audience of Net-a-Porter.com did this, and Affinio is the company that created a software to collect all that data. So they created these clusters of their audiences, and these are people who are into high-end fashion, London fashion, Italian fashion, UK pop culture, Spanish fashion, and so on. But when you go here, they have also looked at, I mean, there's so much you can do with the data. So here, this is a little small, let me get it bigger. So they took the high-end fashion cluster and they looked at the hashtags that they are using. So the orange is the high-end fashion, and you see the most popular hashtags are Paris, street style, black, you know, and then these are the other clusters and their most popular hashtags. And if we go back, let me see what that light orange was. I mean, light purple. Was that fashion companies? Was fashion companies. Okay, makeup was a huge one that they used as a hashtag on Twitter. When you look at mentions, there is, let's see, Vogue magazine is mentioned a lot by the high-end fashion. What else here? Burberry, fashionista.com, Net-a-Porter. So you can get all of that information. I think these are the fashion companies, and you see what the mentions are, like Ella magazine, Harper's Bazaar, US, Vogue, let's see, Kendall Jenner, Louis Vuitton. So you can see kind of how people use certain hashtags, certain mentions. They can look at the keywords that they tweet and even the emojis that they use the most. And I mean, you know, if you're trying to attract customers who are really into this kind of emojis, to know what kind of emojis are more, you know, interactive for them, or what kind of emojis will help them interact more, it may be a useful data when you're doing marketing, right? Search engine results page. So this is important because I will talk a little bit about search engine optimization and search engine marketing, but I wanted to show you guys, I went to Google and I Googled women's little black dress. And when I used these keywords on Google, it came up to me with all these advertisements and these websites here. So when you look at these advertisements, you can see that it says sponsored here. These are actually spots on the website that are paid advertising. So all of these slots on this website, the top ones, are paid, and people bid to get one of those top spots on the search. So when somebody searches for something, these will come up to direct people to buy something from them. These are also sponsored, Rent the Runway, Revolt.com. Nordstrom might be a more organic search result because a lot of people may be buying women's little black dresses from Nordstrom. So when it comes up, this may not be a paid advertising, it may be more organic. But this is how the search engine works. When you search for something, the first things that will come up are the paid slots, paid positions where people are bidding on. And they use keywords that they want to be associated with. So when somebody uses this kind of keyword, it triggers and brings one of those brands, but they bid on the keywords that they want to be like the first one to appear. So search engine marketing is basically advertising on websites to target certain keywords and to generate leads so that people go and buy your products. So pay-per-click advertising is part of search engine marketing. Also, if you guys noticed, when you go buy something and then you come back 2 days later, you are on Instagram or Facebook, but then you see all these ads about that product that you searched for 2 days ago. So remarketing is basically that. When you shop for something, the website that you previously visited or the product that you previously searched is now targeted, and then it gives you more of those type of products and services in your advertisements on your page, so that it reminds you of those products if you need to buy them, and so on. And conversion tracking is to track whether somebody is clicking on the ad and then buying the product or not. When you are on the website, you can actually follow the consumer and see where they've gone, what they've done, where they clicked until they purchased the product. And you can also tell if your ads are working or not. So if your ads are never being clicked, that will help you get some information about that ad. Or if there's a certain ad that gets a lot of clicks, then it also helps you measure the effectiveness of your ads, and then you can optimize that to get better results. Now, keywords are very, very important when we talk about this. So if you have a marketing campaign about women's skirts, you may want to categorize those skirts. So let's say you have 3 separate categories: lace skirts, sequin skirts, and mini skirts. And then you want to create ad groups like mini skirts, midi skirts, maxi skirts. And these are separate groups where you can use as a keyword. So when somebody searches for mini skirts, then it directs them to your website. These are also keywords where you want people to search exactly for this phrase when you put them in parentheses like that. So mini skirt, mini skirts, black mini skirt, you want to use all these keywords so that people can be directed to your site. So search engine optimization is basically trying to make your website more search friendly or search engine friendly. You do some keyword research. You want to make sure you use the best and most effective keywords to lead people to your website, to your advertising, or to your product. And you want to do some auditing about your site structure so that you can improve your search engine performance, and building links to your site from other high-quality websites can also improve your site's search engine optimization ranking. So you want to keep optimizing by finding the right keywords that will lead people to your ads. Okay, I'll talk a little more about the keywords. So there's this broad match keyword that says broad, but it's supposed to be broad. This is from your book. So let's say you use the keyword women's hats. When you use it like this, without any parentheses or any other modifiers, then when people search for women's hats, it's definitely going to come up. When you search for buy ladies hats, it's going to still come up because women's, ladies, they're kind of synonyms. So it's more broad. And when you use broad match keyword, that means it will match it broadly. So when people search for ladies or girls hats or caps, it will still trigger your keyword, right? So your keyword will be in all of these categories. So ads will show on searches when people search with any of these words. Okay, so that's a broad match. Now, if you use a broad match modifier, like a plus women's plus hats, then as long as the word women's is in the search and the hats is in the search, then your ads will show. But If people search for helmets for women, it's not going to show up because it has to be hats. You can't do caps or visors. It has to be exactly women's hats. But it doesn't have to be in that order. If you search for like hats for women, it's still gonna show up. Or buy women's hats, it's still gonna show up. You can also do a phrase match keyword. So phrase match means when people search for women's hats, it has to be spelled exactly like that, and it has to be put in this order in the search box to show your ads. So when people search for women's hats, this is going to come up. Women's hats, it may come up. Buy women's hats, it may still come up because it contains that match. But if you say girls' hats, it's not going to come up. Or women's baseball hats, because there's baseball in between. It's not the exact phrase of women's hats. This is also not going to direct people to your ads. Exact match keyword is women's hats in parentheses. That means, it's only going to bring your ads if people type these. Woman or women is fine, but if you say buy women's hats, this is not going to show your ads. Or women's hats on sale, it's still not going to bring your ads because it has to be just that. And this can cost a lot to a company if you use an exact match keyword and people are not directed to your ad just because of these parentheses. This may be very costly, and you have to really understand keywords if you want to have a successful marketing campaign. Okay, so what kind of data do companies collect? Now, when you sign up for Facebook, for Twitter, for Instagram, there's always these terms and agreements that we agree to, or privacy policies that we agree to. But a lot of people don't realize how much of their data is being collected. And people can track demographic data. So they can identify what age group you belong to, what kind of social group you belong to, and then they can develop marketing campaigns to target specifically your demographics. They can also look at your browsing and purchasing history. So they can see what kind of websites you went to browse a product, to search for a product, and then eventually what kind of purchases you made, what kind of books you bought, what kind of styles you bought, and they can give you recommendations based on your style, based on your own shopping experience. And they can also collect customer feedback and reviews. And when they're developing new products, they can take that into account. So as a marketing strategist, those are consumer data that you can also use when you are trying to create advertisements that are more targeted. But this data can also be used by product developers who are developing new products, because when they see customer reviews and their viewpoints or point of views, then it also helps them develop better products based on what is more popular, what is the trend, and so on. And journey mapping. This is when you go on websites, they can kind of follow you and track your journey through these sites. So you can identify the process a customer goes through when discovering your brand. And you can look at the steps the customer takes to research your products. You can see what kind of decision-making process leads to the purchase of your product by that customer. You can even get information about their post-purchase. So what is the consumer behavior after the purchase? Do they return the product, or do they leave certain reviews? And this insight will help you develop retention strategies. And with artificial intelligence, I think we will get a lot more information, and we will also be able to analyze a lot more information that wasn't possible to analyze before. So this will be more personalized for people. You will really know your customers better, Virtual reality can create a better shopping experience too. When you're buying clothes, it may be all on this digital environment. And of course, wearable technology is also going to change a lot, because with the sensors on wearable technology, you can collect data even about your health and about your actions and so on. So I think this is going to be, things are going to change a lot in the fashion industry. And I think there are some job opportunities here because everybody says ChatGPT and AI is going to make people lose their jobs. But I think there will be a lot of other jobs that are created by AI. And you guys need to really find the kind of areas that are going to be more popular with AI. I think this is all I have. So I am going to wait for your final strategy assignment. That's going to be your final exam. And I'm going to post your grades soon for the previous ones. But if I don't see you guys, I'll see you in the spring semester, hopefully. And if you're graduating, I'll see you at graduation. All right. Bye for now.